Problems. What about them? We all have them, and some of us function better when we have them. I think we create some of these problems in order to create the illusion of progress as we solve through them. Problem solving, a fundamental skill introduced in the beginning of our organized educational system. It's no wonder why many spend their time solving through them. In the absence of problems, we seem to create situations that require plenty of problem solving. In fact, the only reason this rhetorical passage is even being inked is because I've hit a roadblock, an unsolved problem, like a third grade exam that I know will come back as a failure. What do I do about that? Can't study it. A general rule of thumb is to change the rules, and so that they work in my favor. But more and more I've come to realize that the rules, as we perceive them, are imaginary. The rules are a construct of our own personal, social, and economic limitations, and our expectations. Where the hell does this leave me? Unknown? Unsure? A little insecure? I know I'll eventually succeed. But I'm sure I may fall on my face also from time to time, but then again, that could be insecurity talking. It wouldn't be the first time, yet I'm still here, and I still have my wits about me. But the idea that there are no rules gives me another idea. Since there are no rules to change or manipulate to work in my favor, I guess it is ourselves that bend and change to suit our situations. I guess it is myself that has to change in order to get by and move forward. I guess that at the root of our problem is our own damn selves. On another note, some of our issues are compounded by outsiders placing responsibilities for their problems upon us. This requires a mere adjustment to the formula, changing social aspects, and who we associate with. Surround yourself with successful people, you could find yourself successful. That was said to me by one of my old teachers, who taught the idea that in order for you to change, you must also dynamically alter the world around you. First, by dramatically changing associations, and then by changing one's own habits to avoid becoming or remaining part of a social circle that will imminently cause a slip in their efforts and compromise their ability to move forward. Now there's my dilemma. I've made good relationships that have enriched and also improved my life. But I need to move on from here now. I may need to be drastic and impulsive, and I might have to crack a few eggs. Change is not only necessary, it is obvious, critical, and at the top of my list. Some will see me as bullheaded and stubborn, but really, I'm neither. I simply will not tolerate the status quo. I have to reach up to find my ends and to define the means by which I achieve them. I will miss where I am, but I've always missed where I've been. Change is imminent. I will once again change myself to suit the new suite of problems that I and others will introduce to my life. Which brings me to my final point. It is my life, and I can't forget that. No one lives under my skin but me and my demons. If I can't get it together, no one will do it for me. I need to get radical, off the wall, and creative. I need to bend one way while looking the other. I need to create inspiration around myself to cause change from within. I just need to keep it together. Robert Morris, written March 26, 2004 at 2:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.
mankind's epic tale reads like a short story when compared to what I now know. I thought human history was bad, but I have reason to believe things were fucked up long before we even set foot on this planet. Our entire existence is made up of lies, illusion, and misdirection. The smart ones are the profiteers, human and alien alike, who all benefit from our suffering. We were taught that we can look up into the sky for hope, into each other for salvation, and into ourselves for strength. The truth is that the evils we know, war, exploitation, murder, it's everywhere in the universe. Now, there are some people out there, human and otherwise, that believe we are worth saving, while some of our very own are planning to profit from our destruction. We can choose to be treated like naive livestock, or we can fight back and earn our place in existence and survive as the human race. Or we can lay down and let them rub us out of existence altogether. It's time to make a choice.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. It's been a pretty trying couple of weeks. I've had to replumb my bathroom twice because of burst lines during a cold snap twice, and that was a big pain in the ass. Costly too. Also, I had to put in some physical work. I actually had to tear out my floor and my toilet and reinstall all that stuff, and that was quite not fun. Anywho, well, here we are. I don't know how many weeks since my last audio blog, and I mentioned that I'm going to put out 2 shows, blah, 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 this and that, and I made a whole bunch of claims. I understand your, I understand your questions if you're questioning my abilities to put these out, because I even question them myself. In fact, I had the last 3, 4, actually 5 days after work, 4-hour windows every single day. You know what I did? I ate, watched some TV, and then slept. And then when I woke up, I would sleep some more, and then wake up and go to work, and then repeat the process until today. Today, where I drink some beer and actually make an audio blog. I don't know. I sense a pattern developing. Do you? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I'm 11 deep into a 15, and quite frankly, having fun playing with my gear again. This last week has actually been a bit of a rest period, some downtime, and I have a crap load of footage to go through. I will go through it. I have 2 shows to produce. I still have to produce music. I got to do my intro graphics for 2 shows and the bumpers for all the segments. It's a big pain in the ass. But at the end of the day, I only have to do them once, and then all I have to do is produce content like this and then sandwich it within the crap I made when I make that. Which, when I sandwich stuff, it'll be stuff that I had made, because it'll be future tense, referring to past tense stuff that I'm doing now, later. You got it? Alright. So, that said, it's gonna get cool. It's gonna get awesome. I did drop the ball for a bit there, but quite frankly, I had to work out a couple of contracts that were done. Well, gonna be done. Did it. Cut one off midway because it was going south, so I cut the client off, and The other guy is my best friend, Kunle there from Kunle TV, and kudos to you on starting up your new launch. These guys who listen to this will be able to find you just by going through my Facebook history or my YouTube subscriptions or whatever. Kunle TV, look it up, you'll find the guy. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go on that note. I have a whole lot more to rant on about, which I'm going to record separately and release later tonight, most likely tomorrow. But I just want you to know I haven't forgotten what I said I was going to do. I'm working on it. It's getting done. Relax. You're probably not losing sleep over it. You probably think I'm a pushover. But guess what? You're going to rethink that real soon. Cheers, mates, and have a great weekend. By the way, Canada stuffed the U.S. in the Olympics. Suck it!
This is an Echelon Publishers Group update, brought to you by Robert Morris. I'm dealing with crappy equipment, so there might be some mic pops. Be wary. Well, hello. Echelon Publishers Group pounding loud through SoundCloud. This is a scripted blog, and only so I made sure I punched out the major points that I wanted to make and not get distracted and ramble on for an hour and a cousin fuck past 6. I'd like to announce the rebirth of EchelonPublishers.com website. It is still in production, but by the end of the first week of February, it should be mostly smashed together. Also, there is a Facebook page for EPG. It will basically highlight whatever developments are going down outside of the YouTube video schedule, as well as any other relevant news in the industry that we feel that we should cover. So, aside from the audio rambling, which you are now bearing witness to, I will be introducing 2 video series on YouTube. I also have other things planned, like galleries, media sharing, as well as a collaborative style forum base that will hopefully bring many creative people together and get some really cool shit out there on the interweb. I consider myself an amateur photographer and videographer guy, but I have a keen sense of learning and I'm always picking up new skills as I go. One day, I'll make a bio that details all of my previous work experience and hobbies and bullshit. It's safe to say, though, that I'm not a one-career kind of guy. Enough of that shit, though. YouTube, motherfuckers. I'll be launching 2 shows in the next couple of weeks. Shooting starts next weekend. For those of you tuning in late, that weekend would be the weekend of the 24th through the 26th. Yeah, that's when we start shooting. I plan to post the first YouTube video on February 1st. Hopefully in line with the full launch of the Echelon Publishers Group website. But yeah, I'm still writing the format for both shows. With my day job, it's difficult to harness the attention span that I need to get this kind of thing done on a daily basis. So, with the urgency of producing a show for you guys, it'll inspire me to get off my lazy ass and actually produce content for you. The interweb. Thanks for that, assholes. I have to drink beer standing up a lot more now. I prefer to sit down. So the first show is still unnamed, but it will be an 8-minute segment regarding the birth of my company, Echelon Publishers Group. I'll take you through a journey of starting out with shit gear and building an empire out of it. The only problem is I have to build an empire now. Fucking hell. The show will also cover a lot of my influences and my mentors. There's too many to name, but just for a couple, there's Film Riot, there's Andrew Price from Thunder Guru, and Digital Rev. That guy's fucking hilarious. And there's so many others. And I just want to thank all of them for the inspiration to create online content. This still unnamed show will often go into me buying gear upgrades that I purchase and the personal and business connections that I make as I go along. Let me state, though, that this show will not be one of those tutorial-style shows that show you how to do stuff, but it's rather a documentary documenting all of my struggles in getting this operation off the ground. So you have to bear with it. And it may be entertaining or not. Anyway, let's move on. The second show that I'm going to produce will be a random length, who knows what the fuck kind of show, called Anything Goes. Here I'll basically be getting into people's faces or rambling on about whatever, or reviewing music or technology or stuff on YouTube, whatever. The name says it all. Anything Goes will basically be up to me and my twisted mind to do just about whatever. So make sure you're strapped in for that. I might even piss a few people off. Who knows? And now, a message from my albatross. The Echelon Agreement. I have finally and sincerely decided to scrap the novel format for this story that I've been working on and reworked and re-envisioned for the last 20 goddamn years, and without the goddamn money or connections to get it produced, I've stagnated as a writer and almost in depressed self-defeat just let the writing process die. Well, fuck that. I'm re-engineering the entire story into a screenplay format combining multiple timelines that can be produced and animated in CG. I will require voice actors and 3D modelers as things go on. But for now, I have the ability to pull off a new trailer that might be done within the next couple of months. That will be my company's flagship project, but at the same time, I'll be taking on clients for anything that's media related. From photography to music, we're going to do it all. With shit gear. In the beginning, anyhow. That should be fun, right? Anyway, I'm proud to announce that I'll also be sporting a 90% open source policy. That means everything produced by me in the name of Echelon Publishers Group will be done on a perfectly awesome Ubuntu Studio version 13.10 operating system. I've purchased audio software for Windows, Renoise to be exact, and guess what? It works perfectly under the Wine emulator in Ubuntu, so I could totally use that. And yeah, I use that to make music, soundtracking, and the whole bit. But let's not get too geeky and lose all of you guys at once. I promise you this. Content creation is our mandate, and I already have a few key creatives that will be involved in this. I'd like to mention Jeff Klassen as my key artistic advisor and creator, as well as Rick Verwoerd as my go-to guy for getting shit done. He's also an experienced editor and videographer, but old school as shit, so we'll see how that goes. Echelon Publishers Group also has a specific synergy with Tantrum Creative out of Toronto. My good friend Cunlay Bristow also has a channel that you should check out. I shall supply links as I get my social networking sites configured for EPG, give or take 5 to 26 hours. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to ramble on much longer. I know I left some key things out somewhere, but I'll probably just record another fucking blog to make up for it. Stand by for the videos. They will be quite... Like this shit. Get connected to Echelon Publishers Group on Facebook and find the links to YouTube, Twitter, the EPG website, and SoundCloud. The coupon code for cheap hosting at domain.com. They made all of this happen. With my credit card, of course. I'm out. Stay creative, people.
It's a scary fucking world. It's the love that's missing. It's a very lonely world. Yeah, we're all alone tonight in this very lonely world. Gotta try to do what's right. Sleeping dogs are lying, people really dying. The end of now in history. Don't believe a word, not a fucking word that comes from your TV. Don't believe a word. When you read between the lines and the lies, well, you can plainly see you can change this carved out path you're walking on. Change your destiny, cause it's a scary fucking world. It doesn't have to be, doesn't have to be like this. 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 Doesn't have to be like this.
Well, it appears the stage is set. For millennia, this chessboard has been being set up, and now we have finally reached that point where every piece is in place in order for the sweep to occur. And I'm watching it unfold just like everybody else who's paying attention. And today, the glimpse I got was this. Nothing divides and conquers human beings into smaller groups than beliefs. Nothing is so effective at dividing people than beliefs. In fact, now, because we've reached this point in society where everyone has been painted into a corner with their beliefs, with the other people who've chosen to be in the corner too, but everybody's painted into a different corner by beliefs. And I mean, I don't care if I mention the Seattle Seahawks and you don't like the Seahawks, then boom, we're not in the same team. I don't care how trivial the event is. And by the way, the greater the magnitude or the greater the perceived importance of the idea or the concept, the belief, the dogma, whatever, the greater the perceived importance of that idea, the greater, the more instant the division, the greater the divide between us. And now I can see that throughout millennia, or throughout history, there has been this game of giving people options for beliefs and then letting people decide their way down into, okay, here's my belief structure, this is what I believe, this is what I think, I'm in my corner now. Everybody else is in my corner that believes this, everybody else is outside because they don't know the truth. I've got the truth, it's right here, it's my belief. And that's where we're at now. We're actually, all of us are painted down into these corners where even people who share many beliefs, they might share 90% of their beliefs, but all of a sudden you'll get to one that has a large enough perceived importance that it will divide, and those two people right there, and you're conquered. So nothing in this world is more effective at dividing and conquering people than beliefs. There's even people who think, well, I'm not even going to go in that direction yet, that's a whole nother topic. I will do one of these on beliefs, on the concept of beliefs and what they are and what they do, how they work, but this is about seeing the end game This is about seeing that everyone now has been painted into a belief structure. Once you believe a thing, everything outside of that is instantly wrong. It has to be, because you're right, and that you know what's right. You already have what's right, and you've agreed that you know something. Once you know that, everything outside of that must be wrong instantly, and you will fight to prove it so. P.S. Even when you're wrong. It's just how it works. It's how we do once we lock ourselves into a dogma or a belief structure or even a single belief. Even one of them does this to us. And how many do we have? Oh, I don't know. Some people have few, some people have a lot, but the more you have, the more easily divided and conquered we all become. We all become. Because a lot of times people will divide and conquer themselves. They'll separate themselves from you, not because of anything they've said, but something you've said. Oh, he said something that is outside my belief structure, and therefore it can't be true. Otherwise, I would know it. My belief structures are all 100% right. Anyone who is outside of my belief structure has to be wrong. It's just common sense, isn't it? You know, if I go to the people in North Korea, and I tell the people in North Korea that time itself, the creation of time itself, did not begin with their dear leader's birth. If I say that out loud to a North Korean, that person will know that I am uneducated. That person will know beyond all doubt, they will know for 100% fact that I am an idiot, that I don't understand the way the world works, and that I don't understand, well, what I don't understand is North Korean propaganda. See, that is their dogma. And once someone says something that is outside of your dogma, they have to be wrong. But just like the North Korean, who will know 100% that I am wrong when I tell them that time itself did not begin with the birth of your dear leader. If you say that to them, they have been indoctrinated with that belief from the moment they were born. And that's why they all believe it. Even though it's not true, and we know that, but they don't. And once they know that time itself began with the creation of their dear leader's birth, once they know that, you come along and tell them anything else, and you're wrong. You have to be. And that's how their minds are divided and conquered with that belief. Now you're sitting there laughing, thinking, those silly North Koreans. Back that bus up, buddy. Because you've got a boatload of these beliefs of your own. You just consider them all to be true, don't you? Something to think about. Also, keep in mind that Cult Indoctrination 101 is that anything that offends the prescribed dogma cannot be true. And this is how you can recognize if you're a part of a cult or not. Do you have beliefs that fit into this category of Cult Indoctrination 101? And that is anything that offends the prescribed dogma. I mean, prescribed is the one that's handed out. I don't care if it's from your church, from your dear leader, whoever. Doesn't matter. That's the prescribed dogma. Here's the truth right here. I wrote it down. It's in a book. Read it. There's the truth, damn it. That's the prescribed dogma. So anything that offends that prescribed dogma, well, it cannot be true. That is, if you operate under that assumption, if someone walks up to you and tells you something that wasn't written in your book, or even worse, tells you the exact opposite of what your book says, well then they're offending your dogma. You become offended. Now let me back that up. If you become offended, then you are a cult member. You're part of a cult, you just didn't know it. Now, interestingly enough, here's why I say this is about to checkmate us all. I see recently, I'm not on Facebook, but I see that they are starting to implement this new program on Facebook to where anything anyone posts, anyone else can deem it offensive by, they can flag it and give several different options. Some of you have seen this already. And one of the options is, this offends my personal beliefs or religion. These views offend my personal beliefs or religion. So now we're setting the stage to where anyone who says anything that could offend anyone else's personal belief system or values or dogma. See, now all of a sudden, if this was North Korea, you can't post anything on Facebook, because if you say some truth that offends someone else's dogma, it instantly gets erased. They instantly cancel everything out, because everybody's painted into a corner of their own belief systems. And this has taken a long time throughout all of history for us to get to this point where everyone has been handed out and prescribed their own particular set of belief systems, all the way down to which color is better. I mean, that divided and conquered. And now we're setting the stage to where no one can say anything if it offends someone else's belief system. Because Culture Indoctrination 101, anything that offends the prescribed dogma cannot be true. Therefore, it's offensive. And therefore, it needs to not be said because you're offending my personal beliefs. As I said, I'll deal with a whole nother beliefs, or is an entire conversation on itself, and I'll do that some other time. But thanks for listening. Just an idea. This is what I see happening right now, and I see it affecting a lot of good people, and ultimately, it could be what puts us into a situation of checkmate. Because now, there is no unity, there is no human, there's too many groups, too many teams playing a game, and the board's getting ready to be put away for good. So hopefully I'm wrong. That's the funny thing. After someone has a belief structure, then they want to be right, and they have to be right. They have to continually prove their beliefs right, else they would have to come up with a good reason why they don't change their thinking, and that is scary. So it's easier to just prove how right you are than to consider anything else to the contrary, however obvious it may be. But remember that, culture indoctrination, if anything that offends the prescribed dogma cannot be true. This is what they embed in every cult member to keep them on the dogma and away from everything that isn't exactly what their dear leader says. Free your mind, think for yourself, make up your own mind. That's why you have a brain. You don't need books to tell you what to do and how to think, and you can do this already. You just need to practice.
Problems. What about them? We all have them. Some of us function better when we have them. I think we create some of these problems in order to create the illusion of progress as we solve through them. Problem solving, a fundamental skill introduced in the beginning of our organized educational system. It's no wonder why many spend their time solving through them. In the absence of problems, we seem to create situations that require plenty of problem solving. In fact, the only reason this rhetorical passage is even being inked is because I've hit a roadblock, an unsolved problem, like a third-grade exam that I know will come back as a failure. What do I do about that? I can't study it. A general rule of thumb is to change the rules, and so that they work in my favor. But more and more I've come to realize that the rules, as we perceive them, are imaginary. The rules are a construct of our own personal, social, and economic limitations, and our expectations. Where the hell does this leave me? Unknowing? Unsure? A little insecure? I know all men should succeed, but I'm sure I may fall on my face also from time to time, but then again, that could be insecurity talking. It wouldn't be the first time, yet I'm still here, and I still have my wits about me. But the idea that there are no rules gives me another idea. Since there are no rules to change or manipulate to work in my favor, I guess it is ourselves that bend and change to suit our situations. I guess it is myself that has to change in order to get by and move forward. I guess that at the root of our problem is our own damn selves. On another note, some of our issues are compounded by outsiders placing responsibilities for their problems upon us. This requires a mere adjustment to the formula, changing social aspects, and who we associate with. Surround yourself with successful people, and you could find yourself successful. That was said to me by one of my old teachers, who taught the idea that in order for you to change, you must also dynamically alter the world around you. First, by dramatically changing associations, and then by changing one's own habits to avoid becoming or remaining part of a social circle that will imminently cause a slip in your efforts and compromise your ability to move forward. Now here's my dilemma. I've made good relationships that have enriched and also improved my life, but I need to move on from here now. I may need to be drastic and impulsive, and I might have to crack a few eggs. Change is not only necessary, it is obvious, critical, and at the top of my list. Some will see me as bullheaded and stubborn, but really, I'm neither. I simply will not tolerate the status quo. I have to reach out to find my ends and to define the means by which I achieve them. I will miss where I am, but I've always missed where I've been. Change is imminent. I will once again change myself to suit the new suite of problems that I and others will introduce to my life. Which brings me to my final point. It is my life, and I can't forget that. No one lives under my skin but me and my demons. If I can't get it together, no one will do it for me. I need to get radical, off the wall, and creative. I need to bend one way while looking the other. I need to create inspiration around myself to cause change from within. I just need to keep it together.
Go through while I'm doing it and all that goodness. If there's anybody
Robert Morris, written March 26, 2004 at 2:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I should be able to.
Peace.
I'm not going to be doing a lot of switches and changes, for transitions and stuff because I'm going to be busy working. Why do I have a secondary mic? One. Oh, it's the echo. I see. We'll stop that. There we go. What the fuck is making... Oh, I didn't turn this off. Of course I didn't. Okay, here we go. Huh. You might not have heard what I said. I'm getting used to the new setup and everything. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. Getting to know it again, I guess, is what I'm talking about here. I was saying that I'm going to have the chat opened up for anyone if they want to talk and, have a hoo-ha. This is going to be a boring night here over at EPGN. Just going to do some work. I figured I'd do some live streaming here, to test out the system a bit more as I kind of rework my sound issues that I was having the other night. And well, quite frankly, it's been a pain in the tuchus. If you're Jewish, you know what that means. I'm not Jewish, and I know what it means. So if you don't know what it means, you've probably been living under a rock. But I do digress. So I guess I've been getting the jack mixer kind of configured to work with Carla. Carla, where are you, Carla? Carla. Oh, there you are. Oh, yeah, you're right there. And that's all fine and real and all and good and dandy. I still have to give all of these things proper names. My outs are ins and my ins are outs. I think it's probably not wrong. It's just not the right interpretation of it, because in is technically a writing operation, whereas out is a reading operation. But you can read and also write at the same time, but then you have two operands. You have a destination as well as an origin. So these things can happen simultaneously, and you can try to use a sound system, like a conventional brick and mortar sound system, as an analog, pardon the pun, but it's not exactly the same thing. It's not that simple. It should be, but it's not. All right, so I don't even know if I'm actually making noise here. Let me just do a quick check on my phone here, and I'll just see if the podcast is actually getting it to the website at EPGN.ch. Make sure you get down there and get yourself registered. Things are going to be happening soon. Give me a second here. I just want to do a quick check over at EPGN.ch. It's a private server. It's managed by yours truly, so it's definitely subject to human error, as I'm only one guy. Imagine if there's 15 of us working on it. Then there's 15 of us that could fuck it up. But right now, it's just me. So, that being said, let's check out live streams 24/7. What do we got over here? Well, the stream is online. Let's see if we have volume. Am I not hearing anything? Is it just me? Is it just me? One. Oh, now it's working. Fuck. Oh, this thing's loose. There's a fucking loose wire in here. Cocksucker. Fuck, I want to smash this fucking thing. Oh. Let my fucking temper go fucking crazy. I've had nothing but computer problems for a long time. I don't even know if you heard anything I just said. Let's see. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, looks like I heard that. Okay. All right, fan-fucking-tastic. Yeah, it's been my computer pretty much just blew up on me the other day, and well, took all my sound with it, and well, pretty much had to deal with it from there. I guess I might as well put a face to this friggin' thing here. Let's see here. I'm just gonna. Fuck! I should just turn the camera around. All right. We're going to go. I don't know why I put it back onto this screen. Jesus Christ. I'm so turned around right now. Which one did I have for that? Yeah, it was this one. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the little freaking camera there. Where is it? Duplicate the scene. Call this with cam. And the properties on that one. If we have a caller that comes in, they will be there. If we have me on a camera, then I will be that one. There we go. There's the chat. Oh, fuck off. Come on. Come on, computer. Be a fucking piece of shit. What the hell is that? Oh, fuck. My patience levels are like down to nothing. I've got absolutely zero patience for any of this shit. Like I said, if any of you guys are watching, you want to chat, go ahead and chat. There is a number scrolling across the top. If you can make that number out. There. I'm just gonna, oh, for fuck's sakes. That fucking snap turned on and it's not snapping to what it's supposed to snap to, son of a bitch. What the hell? I want to smash things, I swear. There we go. All right. And Kerblooey. See how that looks. All right. Whoop-de-ding-dong. Yay. All right. So what I'm going to be doing here is, well, why is there, oh, I forgot there was that one there. You stupid idiot. All right. Let's delete that. Yes. And what we're going to do is we're going to override that transition with the move cam. And then this one here. Okay, so that one we can delete. Yes. This one here, we're going to make it bigger. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just going to, you'll see as soon as I hit the transition button. Goes whoosh. There we go. All right, fantastic. Now on to getting to work here. All right. And I figured a little exercise I could do for everyone. Oh yeah, I was explaining what I was doing and I realized I didn't know if you could hear shit or whatnot. I had to redo my sound system. And basically, well, I just had to redo my sound system. Fuck all the basicallys. Got Jack Audio playing nice again with Carla. There's Carla right there. That's doing spectacular. I have to rename all of the sound devices. That's going to be a fun pain in the ass. Let's see here. If you could notice there, oh, crying out loud, come on. I just wanted this to take up that. There we go. If you notice there, if you look at all the little tiny little screens there, these are actually all of my desktops that are currently linked. I probably got a couple of cameras going as well. I think this is probably a bit overkill. I think you probably know already that it's EPGN Radio Online. So what I'm going to do
is, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that super tiny and put that down in the corner. Just so it has the same name as the other thing. And if I go like this, yeah, see what I did there? I'm learning how to use this move transition. Anyway, move transition is a plug-in that you can use in OBS, and it just takes a little bit of finagling, but for the most part, I think I've finagled it enough. Snaggle it anymore, it's probably going to fall off. All right, so enough of that shit. So OBS, blah, 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 system, I updated it. If you're wondering what I'm running right now, I'm running, basically it's OBS Studio. OBS Studio, what the fuck am I talking about? Ubuntu Studio, got OBS on the mind. It's Ubuntu Studio version 2.0.10. It's very, very, very cool. The version I'm running has kind of left me a little bit vanilla. Now, I'm sharing my one whole screen here, so I got a bunch of stuff on here that you need not know about. Let me see if I'm going to invite some people just in case they decide to show up. Yeah. Get this guy here, get that guy, send invitations out. It would be funny if, actually, it would be funny if I literally, see here. Oh. Huh. That number might not work. Now that I just noticed. What the? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Are you serious? Hang on a second here. What in the damn hell? Oh, it doesn't matter. What I'll do is I'll close this, because that can go suck it. Go to Chrome. Scooby-Doo-Doo. And here, if I want to invite somebody, then it has all of these bits in here. Okay, cool. All right, let me see here. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Why does Chrome have to have a different friggin' border and tab setup? It just bothers the shit out of me. I don't know what's going through my head. Some friggin' music. I can't think of the source, but all right. So I sent out some invitations there. Let's get that back up and going on that. Okay, let's see here. Wow. Ooh, now I just gotta think of the name of the application. So we're gonna go over to EPGN.ch. Actually, no, we're not. We're gonna go to radio.epgn.ch, but it's on the live feed. So if we go to live.radio.epgn.ch, what we're gonna see is Owncast. It's basically an Owncast node. I'm not gonna play the stream because it's gonna probably create an audio channel, and it's just another thing for me to mute, so it's not necessary. But there's a stream that's happening right now on our website over at live.radio.epgn. I want to take this chat and I want to embed it over on the EPGN.ch website, as well as over on radio.epgn.ch. There's going to be two places where I want the chat to also exist. One is going to be on the actual listen page for the radio station, which is right here. I wonder if this is going to play the audio. Maybe I'll play this in the background. What I do. And if you're wondering what's going on in the background, that's
Are you sick of the censorship?
That's me.
Are you sick of the community guideline strikes? How about the copyright strikes? How about losing your channel altogether? Well, let me tell you, get on down to beertube.epgn.ch where you won't be censored. You won't be getting copyright strikes. And unless the data center that the server's sitting in burns down, you're good and distributed. Check out beertube.epgn.ch.
All these songs are brought to you by the Free Music Archives because I'm a cheap asshole. Anyway, enjoy. I'm going to get working on installing the Homecast chat system and embed it everywhere. And you can watch me do it.
Son exutoire, son purgatoire, sa manière d'établir le lien entre les autres et cette masse. Il avale son micro dans son esprit, dégueule ses mots. C'est quand il est chaud qu'il sort ses lyrics par kilo. Il a traîné, ramassé, rapouillé à n'importe quel degré. La sueur au front, le cœur en feu, avant les dangers de l'insipidance insane que l'on lui sert. L'air de rien, elle lui bouffe sournoisement deux hémisphères. Ritourner l'incestueux, turpitude venimeuse. Elles englobent ses lobes et ses fibres nerveuses. Pour faire germer des idées fraîches, la réflexion comme moteur de l'activité pour ne pas rester un pion. Sans pour autant surdiscuter comme seule solution. Stoppons net les débats quand il n'y a pas de conclusion. C'est se laver, se bidonner, rien que pour le plaisir. Comme un gosse qui n'aura jamais en lui cette envie de grandir. Pour ne pas passer ma vie à échapper au temps et à toute la vue que Charlie a duré en pensant. On peut vite dépenser sans lien son corps, triste au vie, obèse, rumination excessive à l'espérance de vie. On peut vite dépenser sans lien son corps, triste au vie, obèse, rumination excessive à l'espérance de vie poussive. Nous sommes une expérience en mouvement, nous sommes une espèce en voie d'expansion, nous sommes le virus le plus virulent, nous sommes la voie d'adhésion, oui, nous sommes une expérience en mouvement, nous sommes une espèce en voie d'expansion, nous sommes le virus le plus virulent, nous sommes la voie d'adhésion. J'ai retourné sur moi-même, je dois qu'un tas de détritus entassés dans le salon. Pour la cuisine, c'est la même. Une crasse malsaine inonde l'évier, l'eau est coupée pour de bon. J'ai retourné sur moi-même. Je dois qu'un tas de détritus entassés dans le salon. Pour la cuisine, c'est la même. Une crasse malsaine inonde l'évier, l'eau est coupée pour de bon. J'ai plongé dans les tréfonds de la marginalisation. J'ai flirté avec les frontières de la folie et de la raison. J'ai joué à la roulette russe comme on joue à des jeux de con, en espérant que l'unique balle serait celle de ma rédemption. Comment vivre ici quand on n'a pas grandi? Pourquoi la simplicité il ne l'a pas choisi? Car ses rêves de gosse l'obsèdent et le pousse à monter sur cette scène. Ressentir l'émotion que cette machine génère, associée à ses voix, ses textes, ses proches de ses compères. Que se manifeste le mieux, qu'il s'exprime le mieux. Mes carottes sur un dieu, du bonheur plein les yeux. Sans aucune ni raison, ma colère se déverse comme la pluie soudaine averse un bel après-midi de printemps. Et donc à faire, pourquoi lutter plus longtemps quand les sentiments surplombent la clairvoyance et pas l'inverse? Être moi-même devant le même dilemme, revenir à la raison et subir l'oppression mentale, ou rester dans ma folie cataloguée comme un marginal. J'ai choisi eux aussi, je serai leur problème. J'ai choisi eux aussi, je serai leur problème. J'ai choisi eux aussi, je serai leur problème.
into the pursuit, paradise. Oh, the ancients, how they knew way to decay into time before it grows too far.
Yeah.
Try to get right, tie it up tight, hide in plain sight, light the torchlight. But we
Roll myself a
got
joint here.
flashlights up on a phone's eye, snap a quick sight of you. It's sunlight, it's true. We're alright like they were alright. Get lost in my mind, the view was sublime. Yeah. Oh, the ancients, how they knew how they knew yeah, way to decay into time for echoes to find. They don't make nothing like promenade and candlelight. 1,000 years and blink your eye, 1,000 years and blink. I don't know, remember. I just hope we can better understand how sweet the wine, how sweet the wine. Feel the breeze, take a sip, lose yourself in the labyrinth. We're all gonna get where we ought to be now, where we ought to be now, oh, where we ought to be, oh, now.
Broadcasting from Iceland, but coming from everywhere, is EPGN Online Radio.
Flashback, before you got mad, then you didn't crack that. In and out of dolo when the new mass. To the boys were on him when he crashed that.
you, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. Where you, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Where you, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. Where you, ba-da-da-da-da-da. You can see it in my face, and it's all over the place now. It's in everybody's heart. I think it's time we made that start now. I see it walking through the park, and it's where all the children play now. It's in the beauty of a smile, and it's the reason that we're here now. Where you, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Where you, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Where you, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. Where you, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Today, 'cause that's the true and natural way now. If you got that feeling from the start, just know that it'll never part now. Can anybody tell me why all the birds fly in the sky now? And the magic of it all is when the rain begins to fall down. Where you, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. Where you, ba-da-da-da-da-da. 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 La la la.
Suche aus der Runde, zurück das ganze Haus suche aus ins Lager, suche aus der Runde, zurück das ganze Haus suche aus ins ihre Hüfte, sie gibt mir Feuer. Wenn sie lacht, sie gibt mir Feuer. Wenn sie ihre Hüfte schwingt, sie gibt mir Feuer. Das ist nicht nur ein Augenblick, sie gibt mir Feuer. Denn der Blick macht mir Glück. Schau doch einfach hin. Sie sieht einfach super aus, wenn sie ihre Hüften schwingt. Mit ihr rockt das ganze Haus. Schau doch einfach, schau doch einfach, schau doch einfach hin. Sie sieht einfach super aus, mit ihr rockt das ganze Haus. Sie gibt mir Feuer, wenn sie lacht und singt, sie gibt mir Feuer. Es ist nicht nur der Augenblick, sie gibt mir Feuer. Wenn sie ihre Hüfte singt, sie gibt mir Feuer. Denn ihr Blick macht mir Glück, sie gibt mir een kleine zwaar stuk, scheißegal ist an der Weg, es will eine Sprache nur, soll alone in the moon. Echt een kleine Sprache, scheißegal ist an der Weg, es will eine Sprache nur, soll alone in the moon. Sie geht mir, wenn sie lacht, wenn sie singt, sie geht mir, wenn sie ihre Hüfte singt, sie geht mir.
Hang on, buddy.
Es ist nicht nur ein Augenblick, sie geht mir. Denn ihr Blick macht mich verrückt, sie geht mir. Feuer!
Give me a second. Can you hear me?
Feuer!
Jeez, I can't hear you. Oh, I know why. Gotta turn that up. Go ahead, say stuff. Oh, I'm not hearing you. Oh, I know why. Hey, where the fuck? Oh, no way. We got jacked.
Can you hear me? Just nod if you can hear me.
Yeah, okay. All right. We are live, by the way. That's why I said I got jacked, because my sound settings changed underneath me here. Give me a sec, why? I was supposed to be able to bring you right in. Why am I still? There we go. All right. Music's off. Now say something. Okay, I'm not hearing you. Why? Why am I not hearing you? I'm sharing my my desktop too. So, okay. Let me just double check OBS, because maybe OBS has you muted. Let's see what we got over here. All right. Okay, hang on. Say stuff. Got nothing? Okay. All right. It's because OBS has overridden something. So I'm just going to open that up, go to audio. I'm going to change that one to free comp in, apply. Okay. Say stuff. Okay. No, that's why. No, that's no, I don't want that, because now my voice is doubling. No. Fuck this goddamn machine. All right, hang on a second here. Let's disable it. Fuck it. You should be coming in through the A1 out. So okay. All right. Fuck it. I got it. Give me a second. All right. Okay. One moment, and we'll have this resolved. It looks like free comp has an output from here. Let's see. Free comp out. Okay. So you should be able to, I should be able to hear you though. Oh, you. Oh. That is really weird. There's USB mic coming in. You're not getting that. You're getting sound coming in from there. Huh. It's like relearning it off in reverse from what it was before. It's so bizarre. But okay. You can still hear me. Hang on, I gotta get a visual on you. Hang on, I'm covered. Okay, you can see me, right? Yeah. I mean, that's right. You can hear me. Yeah. All right. And you probably see me too. Yeah. All right. Give me a sec. Fucking hell. This is a mishmash. This is what I'm looking at. If I were to share my screen, I am sharing my screen. It's fucking retarded. Fuck. Just give me a second here. All right. What's this? That's auxiliary out. No, I don't have you out on the auxiliary, do I? Hello, that's just me. Fucking. You know what? It's nothing to do with OBS. This is everything to do with what's coming through Pulse Audio. But OBS has overridden all of my fucking inputs, unless it caught up when I just did an update on it. So let's give me a sec here. If you're saying stuff, you should show up in one of these, but you're not. You've gotta be. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I should be able to get you. Say stuff. No, not on Jack Main. Okay, then it would be A1 out. Say stuff. Nope. Why up? Fudge knuckles. And mic out, sound card out, main auxiliary out. Oh, that's the mic mix out. Man. It's like none of these are working for playback. Say stuff again. Okay, I gotta check this thing now. Okay, because that's going out on free conf out, so that should be there. Hang on. Mix A1 out. What did I just make the other one? A second here. Ah, fuck off. Hang on a second here. Let's just open up that thing in another fucking window. Test. Okay, I get audio this way. Yeah. Why am I not getting your audio? Do you have your mic on? Pre-comp says it's sending it, and I just heard the test. Are you muted? Please tell me you're muted, because that'd be so funny. I don't read lips. I don't hear. I just did a test. And it's putting audio to my headphones, like with the test, and I should be hearing you then. It might be cut. You might have cut the wire by mistake. You were cutting a bagel, and then you were cutting a bagel, and you think you might have nicked the wire. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Hi. Yeah. Do you have a microphone that's on? Maybe your sound isn't on. I don't know, or maybe. I'll tell you what. I'll reload free conference. Stay where you are. I'll reload free conference to see if it does anything. Okay, give me a sec. Bam. Reloading free conference. Okay. Let's check my settings before we go in. Okay. Test. What's going on now? See, I got free conf out. Okay. Okay, hang on. Okay, apparently now it's not making sound. Now that I've come in, I'm not getting shit. If you can hear me, that's great, but give me a sec, because I'm not getting shit. So what the fuck did it do? Go Pulse Audio, see what's happening there. And let's see, come on. It's Google Chrome. It's going to free conf out, which is what it's supposed to do. Free conf should be going out. What fucking here? I was just playing out of A3. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go A3. Start talking. Huh. Let's try this. I'm fucking everything up. Hello? No, I'm not getting nothing. Nothing from you. I'm not getting anything from you at all. No audio whatsoever. People, I have not been able to figure out if this is a problem on my end or a problem with his end. I was just transmitting sound, no problem, from other channels. I just heard a ding sound.
All right, testing one, testing
Yeah, I
two.
hear you.
This is test.
I hear
Ah,
you.
we have this. We have this happening. It's about freaking time. So I was basically talking to myself the whole time. And was that all recorded?
Oh, it's live, buddy. We're live.
Yeah, but did it hear me, or was it because it wasn't working? It didn't hear me.
Nothing heard you. I thought it was my end because I've been naturally messing with my
Oh
sound.
my
so.
fucking god! What the hell? You can't get this thing to go to a proper what the fuck station. And there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Keith. Okay, here we go. There it is. Stupidness on the stupid station. Okay. Oh my fuck.
Spill it, bro.
Okay. This is the comedy section.
Yeah.
This is the comedy section.
But this is just a technical night. We're not talking any politics. I'm literally just I'm actually integrating the chat.
What are we talking? We're talking.
I'm integrating the chat system into the website, like from like the live video feed page. So I'm taking the live chat from there and I'm integrating it with the other components of the websites. And then that way they're all going to be kind of synchronized. And then the next step after that is to get a bot created that will take anything typed in there and send it to the EPGN Discord channel and other channels beyond. Anyway, yeah, come on.
It's fine.
Yeah. So you are the
I was doing a whole rant.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you were like say stuff, and I was like, I'm saying stuff right now. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying things, and I'm going on, and I'm talking about stuff, and just going on a rant.
I'm like, I'm not getting
yeah, it was hilarious. So then you're gonna get me basically like looking like I'm saying stuff, but I'm not actually saying anything.
Well, this is the interview. You already. This has been brought to you by Keith.
Saying stuff, yes. Also known as McFly.
Yes.
Yeah, look, I am McFly right now. I'm casual McFly. That's why I have this open. Otherwise,
George 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just.
That'd be funny. He's like, we could make him better.
This is my McFly lift. It's like.
Get a whole picture.
It's like my pose.
Right.
I have a lot of little weird facial things I can do with things with my face. That's probably why they thought it was deep fake. Is the way I can just.
You are a walking deep fake.
I can move my face around. Just.
It's kind of like how the Predator, you know, how he has the cloaking device, but you just walk around and it's like morphing into different people.
I don't know why I made that sound. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I'm like morph, like exactly. I could just like,
or not the shield.
You know, it's like depending on my mode of thought, I could
1 minute you look like the construction worker up the street, and then
like, here's my spot.
That would be kind of a creepy horror movie, actually. The idea kind of reminds me of that one that Denzel Washington.
Can't do it on the other side.
You know the one that Denzel Washington did
the state, something of the state.
No.
I'm thinking of Passenger 57.
No, it's the one about okay. A guy gets wasted because he was basically sentenced to death by electrocution, and when he dies, he kind of gives a spirit off to somebody who's doing some voodoo black magic, because of course all biker gangs do that. You know?
Of course, I mean.
But
Well,
anyway, yeah, when he dies though, his spirit ends up, you know, kind of getting out. What was it called? Not the hidden. It was called the something. It was the something. It was
the something.
yeah.
Hunger? No, that I don't think it was in
No, but
that.
anyway, it would jump from person to person. So like Denzel was trying to hunt this guy down, and you know, basically he was happy that he was gone, right? You know, after his sentence, you know, was carried out, his execution.
Okay.
And fucking, but then the murder started up again. So first, of course, they're thinking copycat, but no, it was a guy. But it was a guy doing it as other guys and other gals. You know what I mean? Like he was just taking over different bodies all the time. It's a pretty creepy show, man. It was a great show.
Interesting.
It was a great movie. But anyway,
was it
great
about
ending.
the person, like the effect of it? Because that sounds a lot like a Skinwalker perception.
No, it's a movie. It's got a beginning, middle, end. It's a well written movie too, might I add. It's actually really good. You'd be entertained by it. It's a good.
I probably have seen it. It's just I'm trying to figure out the name.
It's a horror thriller.
Yeah, that's why I probably have seen it.
It's like a cop drama, but like it stops being a cop drama and then becomes very supernatural. You know what I mean? It's a good movie. I gotta watch it again and watch it with fresh eyes because.
But you don't know what it's called. So.
Oh, fudge.
Are you just gonna look up like Wesley Snipes movies?
Oh,
or
I'm
something?
gonna look stuff up. Wesley Snipes. No, it's Denzel Washington.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean Denzel Washington.
Wait, you think all black people look the same or what?
No, in Hollywood, I just mix up people all the time.
Well, there's only a few black guys.
Because I don't really care.
You know,
it's like if you don't care about these people, it's like it's hard to remember their names.
There's only certain number of them that make a name for themselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I usually remember the '80s people.
I don't remember
more so than the tape, whoever's fucking doing shit today. And as far as horror is concerned, yeah, I don't really focus on it that badly.
You liked horror movies.
Involved and stuff. I do, but I don't really care about the actors that are portraying the roles.
Slasher films, then.
I do like slasher films.
Yeah,
I don't only like slasher films.
That's your jam, though.
It's my go-to, I would say. You know, but it's not like I don't always just go, oh, what's the latest slasher film? You know, I like to watch a lot of dark comedies. I like to watch a lot of.
Came in the door, goes, hey, I got a really good slasher film. You'd be like, all right, throw it in.
I mean, I'd have to see. It's usually the name tells you everything. In my opinion.
Actually, I think you're right. Is it Sharknado 5?
The name is very revealing to the storyline of whatever the formula is going to be of that movie.
Right.
That's considered a horror or whatever, right? Because there's so many genres in the horror world these days. Right. It's like not just horror. It's like there's the dark, like whatever. There's the you know, like war. There's you know, like what do you call that? Suspense thrillers, which is somehow horror. And I like to call those what do you call that? Now I don't remember what it's fucking called.
Timing.
Yeah, I know, right? Pure jokes right there. No, it was where they, you know, build up something and then all of a sudden, you know, they get you. What is that called?
What, setups and payoffs?
No, like jump scare. Those jump scares.
Yeah.
They always put those in those suspense thrillers.
Yeah, and they gotta be good to be effective. Like, I mean, like, if you're gonna be,
I always know what's coming.
Okay, if you're gonna use them all the time, you gotta overtly use them so that you know that others know, or that the others know that you know that you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to do it.
Yeah, and it's also the trickery of the camera and stuff like that.
Trick them into false disbelief. You know what I mean? That's.
But if you're not used to it, then it like gets you. You know what I mean? If you're used to it, then it like.
Well,
it doesn't phase you. It's like, here it comes.
Unless you've lived on lived with a tribe for 13, 14 decades.
Well, just depending on how, you know, it plays, the formula plays out and whether or not, that's why I watch horror. I don't watch horror for
most people expect them and
to be scared.
Well, because as soon as they hear the music change, like there's certain cues, like in filmmaking, that are kind of used to set up the jump scare, and it's like you can tell it a mile away. A good jump scare has
Yeah,
to be used effectively, and it has to be more than a scare. It's got to tell part of the plot too. It can be like,
agreed.
it's like, oh no, a cat, fuck.
Exactly. Well, it's always a cat, right? There's
Yeah,
like the trope is always a cat jumps out of nowhere, and
yeah.
it's
Like
when
the
they're like
Matrix, the
thinking
Matrix
something
dealt with
else
it.
is going to
Yeah,
happen.
the Matrix dealt with it in a very creative way. I like how it's like, oh, that's a glitch in the
It's a
Matrix. Like
glitch.
the deja vu thing. Yeah, I thought,
Yes,
okay, that was clever.
which spawned the glitch in the Matrix
Yeah.
that documentary
Dun,
in a
dun,
way.
dun, everything is connected.
Dun dun dun.
There is
Yes.
no beer. Ah.
Uh,
No, so I'm
that
just doing
reminds me of the Montauk project right there.
Oh yeah.
The beginnings, because there was some sort of thing with the arc welding, and then the guy in the chair, and Duncan Cameron, and then he's like, oh, he's like the guy that's able to visualize things just by like imagining it in his mind, and then they put him in a chair, and he's able to like actually bring stuff to life into the world. But the chair like kind of does it in this weird time frame, so it just like shows up, and that was what happened. They put a beer can, or that was actually a beer, that because he was craving a beer. And so he imagined it in his mind, and while he was in the chair, and after he was out of the chair, and they were actually doing other things, like in the base, the beer can appeared, or the beer appeared. Someone actually opened it, drank it, put the beer, didn't drink all of it, drank about half, put it back down. Part of the testing element, it didn't appear where he was like.
There it is.
Technically saying he was going to put it, like according to their records, but it appeared in the base in a certain area, just like on a bench, and on a counter, and it was close to the medical area for some reason,
right.
and it showed up. There shouldn't have been any beer there.
Right.
That was the whole thing. So it showed up as a documenting situation, and then they put it in the testing world, whatever, for that place, Montauk, and they ended up, it ended up disappearing after it was half drunk.
Well, that's fucking.
It was there for a time and then disappeared. It was like, what the fuck, and it's documented. So, that reminded me of that. That's why I was bringing that up. But again, with the horror, right? It's all about, for me, it's all about the formula.
Oh, the horror.
It's all about the formula. That's why I watch horror. It's the formulas. I try to figure them out before they present them. Right. Because I've watched so many. There's certain formulas that you can like, okay, this is formula A, this is formula B, this is formula C, and you could like pinpoint it. And you'd be like, okay, that's the one they're using this time. Sometimes they mix them up.
Hey, there I am. Oh, good.
There he is. Disappears out of nowhere.
Boom, with a ninja flash. But instead of running away, I there I am. It's fucking bright though. Oh wow.
It's better than that jumbled up mess that you had there. I mean, fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, well that was me working. That's what it looks like.
I'm just like, okay, like you're like windows upon windows upon windows. It's like this is the window land.
Well, that is how I work, but it's funny because I'm not on Windows.
You're crazy. I do like maybe a couple windows at a time, like, and usually I like move them, like I go like put them on top of like tabbed, and then I go to each of the tabs is back and forth or whatever. You're like, let's just put them on top of each other, like a fucking game.
I have everything moving, and I also got 3 monitors. If I was to actually output, like I can actually.
Oh yeah,
all
that would be nuts.
Yeah, if
you'd have to just show that from a camera.
Well,
if you're gonna present that.
Well, actually, no. I can present it this way. We did it yesterday. Watch this. I'll go. It gave me an option for that. Was it here?
Oh my god.
Hang on a second.
Neck.
Entire screen.
So yeah, I was hosting karaoke.
Oh, how'd that go?
Pretty good. The woman that invited me to the Halloween party.
Oh yeah.
She came with some people, so that was cool.
Nice. Good for you, man. I'm glad you're having fun out there, and it's a pretty interesting experience getting a little bit of secondhand fame, eh?
I guess, whatever.
No, I'm not knocking.
I'm just real humble about it.
That's what I mean. I'm not knocking it at all. I think it's great, man. It's awesome. Well, I mean, it's a little bit more upscale than just a normal job, which is super cool. You know what I mean?
I'm not letting it go to my head or anything.
No. I know. I like that you're having fun with it. That's a good thing.
Trying to, it's just like I'm in it for the ride kind of thing. It's like I almost feel like I'm on a ride. I don't know where it's gonna go.
It's funny, but like I said, like the older you get, like I don't know, maybe who knows? Maybe they'll do like an homage to Back to the Future. They'll say, "Hey, we need a George McFly. There's one right there."
You never know. I mean, man. It's just like it's the fandom is so extreme right now. It's like it's perfect timing.
Well, not only that, but socially, they're redoing all the old movies. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't done Back to the Future yet. I'm just saying.
They're mixing it with what's they call it? Rick and Morty, because they got the Doc Brown.
Yeah, Doc Brown's doing a live action version of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
it's funny, so
that's like bringing that to the fore.
Yeah, the artist, the actual writer of Rick and Morty, like it was just a thing he put together in his mind. He just used those two characters as the base for his characters, kind of like I did with the cops, like from the movie Colors, to start off the story with the echelon agreement. It's like two cops, like just the rookie cop and the elder cop, But I was kind of trying to carry that same vibe with the writing. You haven't read that yet. That's something else. That's
no, but that sounds a lot like that whole Last Day or First Day or something like that. Like the one where.
But it's a trope, right? It's a trope. You could actually.
Yeah, it's a trope.
It's not just Colors. It's like 15 other movies that are like from the same genre.
Similar, yeah.
Like it's kind of like the anti-buddy cop story. I'm sharing my screen, and I'm confused because it said over here in their entire screen. It said literally entire screen. If I don't click any, does it share?
No, I guess it looks like your screen.
No, I'm actually sharing.
No, there's my face. Okay.
Hang on a second here, though. No, it's just showing. It's just showing one screen.
Now it's flipped.
Yeah, I know. No, it's.
Oh, you're switching mine.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it. In fact, I can't. There was a way for me to do it.
No, now you got the mirror thing going. The hallway.
Oh, it's because I'm sharing. What I do is I just go full screen of that.
You're sharing OBS. That's why.
Yeah, I'm sharing OBS. Yeah.
You can't do that.
Well,
unless you put something on top of it.
Well, it depends on what I'm sharing, right? And I don't.
Yeah. Well, the screen. If you have a screen on top, you can share OBS.
Yeah.
I found.
But now I'm not. Now it's not echoing. But the chat thing is over top of your fucking mug there. So let me give that a move.
You're like, cover my face with the chat. Yeah. So why do you watch? Like, for instance, I just told you why I watch horror. It's not essentially to be scared. Most people watch horror to be
want
scared.
To be entertained.
Why do you watch? Sure, but I also play the game. I play the Illuminati.
I'm actually not a fan of horror. I like horror movies. Don't get me wrong.
No, I am a fan of horror. You're just a person that watches it.
Yeah, and I only really watch it if I.
But you have a little bit of a fandom because you have all this knowledge about it.
Well, because I used to be into slasher films. I used to be into Fangoria. Like I used to be into the gore and effects, and I was always into production. Like I always had that kind of a production mindset, and I was always fascinated by it. Because I mean, come on, think about it. Some of the most creative stuff ever done was the slasher and gore films of the 80s and 90s. Like that's when.
Well, it's because all the people that were watching it would like cover their face when the shit was happening.
It's so bad. What am I feeding? What did you eat? Oh,
that's gross.
Oh,
dog. So like, generally, like the people that are affected by horror, in a sense that they actually believe that it's real and they're like, reacting to it because of that, they cover their face, right? They're like, oh my God, something's going to happen.
Well,
and then they cover their face.
Yeah,
so they don't see what happens. They don't see the special effects.
Yeah.
They see it in their own mind. and they hear the sound effects that you do with the breaking.
It's
got to
be a lot harder.
Like
you got to be a much better actor or actress like nowadays if you're doing CG work, because like if you're fucking supposed
it's like
to shriek,
pantomiming.
yeah, if you're supposed to shriek at a tennis ball, like I mean, you really got to dig deep for that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, you got to be, oh my god, there's a tennis ball coming after me.
Oh my god, it's a killer fucking tennis ball.
And not overdo it. And I noticed that people that actually can act really well, they move a lot while they talk. They're like, I'm talking and I'm moving at the same time.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. And as I say stuff and I'm moving, but they also kind of move their face like they care. They're like, this is what I'm saying, and I'm thinking about this. But then I go over there and then I talk about that.
You're either eye locked or face locked. And what I mean is you're either examining the person's face or looking into their eyes. And when you're doing that, your body itself is gonna like react. It's going to have like sympathetic responses to what you're experiencing from the other person. And I think it's that motion that we take so for granted that we don't notice it when it's there, but we notice it when it's not there. And I don't think it's there with the CG animation stuff. That's the best way I can put it. But
yeah, I think you're right. There's like this deadness in the people with the CG.
It's a deadness in the reaction, and that reaction is a tell that what they're looking at isn't real. And if they're not invested in it, then how the fuck are we supposed to be invested in it? And we'd react too, by the way, because...
But they get closer when they put all the dots on their face and shit.
Yeah, well, now it's a lot better because the way they're doing it is they're doing like real-time scanning, so the actor's still doing the work, and his face is being mapped, and then thrown into the model at the same points and features, so the expressions are that actor. You know what I mean? And that's kind of when that
is really good acting right there. When they can like portray a thing that
now they just have to portray it on their own face. They just have to know what they are. You know what I mean? And
sometimes it's body too, like the whole movement.
That's what I'm saying. But they can map the limbs to the limbs on the model. So if the model has like extended arms or something, all they have to do is just know how that body moves, and then they can make up for it in their movements when they act. And then
like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that, like, basically though, like it's still the actor doing it though, and that's the cool part. The cool part. It's not just a voice being added to an animation in post, and then the lip syncing. No, this is actually the actor doing it in real time and with his own voice, and that's kind of cool. And it kind of brings the craft back into something that was fake. There was a time period with CG animation where it was just like, it was soulless. It didn't have...
It was bland.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
It didn't have... Like, Jurassic Park was done to the levels of masterpiece. Like, it was...
Yeah.
The best thing that we had ever seen up to
and everybody was trying to copy that.
Everybody, that set a new standard. Yeah, there's like a couple of movies like that set a certain precedence. I think The Matrix.
But now it's like going back and watching Jurassic Park. It's like horrible.
It's still passable though. I mean, that scene with the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm sorry, man. It's fucking awesome. Like, it's just shot so.
But that
well.
wasn't CGI. That was literally special effects.
The chase was CGI.
Okay, the chase aspects was okay. I liked the actual biting of the thing and pulling it apart.
Also, the pulling down of the fence and crossing over the line, that was also CG. Like, and that was nighttime. But that's the thing, is that it was so well matched that the practical shots all lined up. I mean, it was so well done. Like, the composition.
It was really well done, but it's like now looking back at it, because of all the good CGI that's been since then.
Well, I'm just saying it's still passable. I'm just saying it's still believable, because at the moment that you're watching it and invested, you're not thinking it's CG, and that's the important part. Yeah, I know. Yeah, if you put it side by side with something they can do today, like you got like PBR materials and all kinds of different photorealism, which is a real achievable thing now just for anybody to do. Like you can grab a copy of Blender or whatever and start making photorealistic 3D renders at home. And we've come to a point now where it's pretty commonplace, you know what I mean? So now, in a way, that forces the people that are using those tools to really kind of throw a lot of artisan kind of work into their craft and to make theirs unique, either stylistically or photorealistically. And like, to be photorealistic, you really gotta push it for it to, because the second it's not, like, the second something stands out, it's like, it's a fake,
Right.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, everyone knows it's a fake, but they want to watch it like it's not a fake. And if they see something that looks fake, then they'll call it out on being fake and, you know, bad CG. Because it's a very, very tough market to be criticized in.
Some of those VR games are like realistic.
Well, the thing of VR, here's the thing with VR, is that because it replaces your peripheral vision and the way that it's shot into both of your eyes, and then you got the stereo vision, it more accurately simulates the real environment for your brain so that it is instantly more realistic, if that makes any sense. Like on a technical and biological level, you have two eyes, so you have that sense of stereo vision, right?
Yeah.
So when you're looking at a monitor, you're still looking at a monitor with stereo vision, but you're interpreting like basically a single plane of information that's trying to copy 3 dimensions. And you can't have like nested 3D loops unless it's an actual 3D thing that you're looking at, if that makes any sense. But like a 2D plane is not, a hologram is. So that's why you because it has to follow the same rules of perspective that's in your peripheral. That like, it all has to line up properly. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
So like with VR, it so well matches that you don't have that comparison to make in your periphery. It replaces like the
way you see, basically
the way that your brain is interpreting its surroundings. Yeah, it's replacing it.
Exactly.
Like it's a direct proxy, and that's the difference there. In my opinion, anyway, that's what I think the difference is. But pretty much though, it like you don't really see life any faster than like. I mean, people could tell the difference between like 30 frames a second and 60 frames a second, but you can't tell the difference between 60 frames a second and 120 frames. You know what I mean? Like, there's a
you're on acid.
Well, yeah, when you're on acid, anything can happen. But yeah, I don't know. The thing is, though, is you probably notice like holy fuck, I can only see at 37 frames per second because you'd be counting them in your LSD brain.
37.
Yeah.
Both prime.
But no, but I mean, really, yeah, you can get away with slower frame rates when you got the whole thing kind of, encompassed. Then you can really kind of re-govern. See, and that's the thing too. Is like if you're static in one place, it's great, but if you just do something as simple as change the relative speed in your environment to, let's say you were actually moving, let's say in a huge room. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and you just kind of, let's say you just kind of misrepresented the scale of a forward or a Z motion movement, right? Fucking,
yeah.
Like, let's say you doubled it. So every step you took in the game, you actually every step you took in real life was only half a step in the game while you'd be walking into a wall. You know what I mean? Like
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft has its own time. And if you're sitting there playing that, and especially if you're virtual, then you're like stuck in another time frame.
Yeah.
And it's different than your time, like in real life. So
no, the only thing,
and it kind of goes a little faster, I think.
The only thing that's not different than the time in real life is the time in real life, because you're still taking that much time in real life to play. You're just experiencing either a dilation or what do you call it? The other way around, acceleration. No, not.
Yeah, but I'm saying like there's no like central difference from like, say, if you're just playing a video game all day.
Well, it's no different if you're playing baseball in real life. Or,
you're still gonna like have those memories.
Yeah.
And they're gonna replace your whole thing. So then when you dream, you're probably gonna dream about the video game.
Oh, dude. I mean, even just playing 2D games, there's a lot of games that I played that were kind of like either kind of like like dog fighting, like space fighter games or jet fighter games and shit like that. And I would one was Descent 2 and another one was Descent Free Space. And those games there, you're piloting an aircraft. Well, I played them weeks on end, and there's a couple of nights where I swear, like, I'd close my eyes and I'd have that sensation of G-forces because I'd seen it on the screen so much. It's really bizarre. It's crazy, but yeah. Fucking, oh yeah, that's what I want.
Well, have you ever speaking of dreams of games, have you ever dreamed of chess?
That's a negative. I've not.
Well, I've
dreamed of
played chess so many times, like in a row, like daily or whatever, in a time of my life, that I dreamt about it.
Really?
I dreamt about like moves that I would make when I play another game or something like that. Yeah, it was very strange.
I suddenly had
I
the,
dream about being on a chessboard and being a piece,
Oh yeah.
kind of like in the
I
Harry
just had
Potter
that
thing,
80s
like
song in my
similar to
head.
that, but like the
Every
whole game.
move you make. That song just popped into my head.
That's interesting.
Fucking
A Cat's Eye,
there we go.
where I
That's much
originally
better.
saw that.
Hey,
That
I don't look like I'm fucking burning on a hot sun now.
all of the you can like sit there and write down my references. I'm always referencing movies, I notice, and it's always usually horror movies, but it's associated with like the sometimes sci-fi, associated with what people say. So like what you said, every move you make, I'll be watching you. That reminds me of Cat's Eye.
Right, right.
Do you remember the scene?
Nope.
As I think it was the last one that in the series, right?
Of which?
Do you remember? Do you remember Cat's Eye, the movie?
The movie,
With,
yeah. Hang
Stephen
on,
King.
hang on. Yeah. Hang on, it's coming back to me. Hang on. The last one was with the little guy. The last series was with the little
No,
mouse,
I'm sorry.
the
I'm
little
thinking
mouse troll.
the first one then.
Huh?
No, wait.
Wasn't it?
First one was the guy falling from the building, right? So second one.
Okay, I don't remember. The second one was the one with what's his name? It was a smoker, and he had to
James Woods.
James Woods smoking that one there.
Yep.
I remember.
James Woods smoking.
They were torturing the cats and saying, with the electrified floor, saying, yes, this would be an effective treatment to quit smoking.
Yeah, and then in the end, you find out that they chopped off his girl or wife's finger.
Yeah.
Because that's how harsh they are on like stopping the person from smoking.
Yeah.
and they sang that song.
They had a great sticker
during that scene.
I'm pretty sure they had a sticker that said "smoking kills" or something like that, didn't they? I can't remember.
Something like that. There was a lot of weird like totally 80s trope smoking like things in that.
That whole movie was done kind of like Creep Show. Like it was
very much. But I mean,
yeah. And Creep Show was a big thing. And then there was also Tales from the Crypt at the time. Also at the time was Outer Limits, and the Twilight Zone TV series made a comeback around that time too.
Yeah, that was
it was like serial.
The 86 version, I think. 86. Or might be 83.
I want to say it was late 80s because that sounds about right.
Yeah, late 80s sounds about right.
And what else? There's a couple other ones. There was the one Friday the 13th. The series was out. Like that was campy as hell.
That used to scare me.
It was pretty wild.
I remember being scared by that show. Like nowadays, like I'll watch it and it's like kind of campy.
I might have been about maybe 9 or 10, so that puts you about 5. So yeah, I can see it scaring.
Do you remember the episode with the guy that had the people that were like he was harvesting them, and he had them like in closets or something, and he'd like at the end he'd open up and show
what was
everybody.
The artifact? What was the artifact? Because Friday the 13th, the series was all about the artifact store, and each of the artifacts had a story.
Each of the episodes had an artifact. I think it was.
I'll remember it by the artifact probably.
I'm trying to remember. It was like an alien kind of one, or I might be mixing it up with Monsters. I watched Monsters like right after that.
Oh yeah,
that might have been.
I never watched
Monsters.
Episode. I never watched that.
That might have been a Monsters episode. That was kind of freaky too.
Now wait a minute. Listen,
kind of campy, freaky.
Hang on though. There was also a Friday the 13th kids series as well on like one of those kids networks. I'm trying to remember.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, but oh no, it was a Tales from the Crypt spin-off that they did, I think, or maybe they did both. Who knows?
Yeah, there was a Tales from the Crypt cartoon.
Yeah, they did a spin-off there. It was the Crypt Keeper or something. I think it was called. I can't remember. It's just
something like that.
Something in my mind. Something parked way deep.
It's not attached to the person who did the Crypt Keeper. They like got another person's voice.
No, it was completely network because they owned the IP, right? So they're like, yeah, we're gonna put a kids show out.
I heard that
that's-
from the guy.
that's
He was
yeah.
at one of the cons and at a panel, and he said it.
Right.
He told us that he didn't do that.
Yeah. No, I imagine that's what it was. It was just the network there. There's just like, yeah, well, we own the rights to the name because we did the production, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. They put out toys. They put all kinds of stuff. The whole Tales from the Crypt thing is... I'm pretty sure the comic book wasn't even done by the creator. Or was the comic book first?
It's a series of comic books from EC Comics.
From EC Comics, right. So
Mhm.
I don't even think the TV show was directly linked to the creator, was it? Like he was consulted on it?
They used stories from EC Comics.
Yeah.
They didn't use
They
necessarily Tales from the Crypt.
They did
Although
use
there
his
was
name
a Tales
initially.
from the Crypt.
Initially, they didn't
There
use
is
his name.
a Tales from the Crypt EC Comics series.
I'm
but
trying to remember.
Not all of the
there was something
the
there.
stories that are presented in the show are actually from that series. They're from other series that EC Comics did.
Gotcha. Right on, yeah. Okay,
They mixed it around. They mixed it up.
I knew there was a thing there.
I used to collect EC Comics because I was into horror, so of course I had horror comics.
I used to collect a couple of. There's a couple of comic series I collected at the time from EC.
They had Detective Comics too, or DC, but there was also the actual detective kind of comics. You're looking at a guy like a gumshoe that's doing a case and shit.
There was a comic book company that was out, and they put out a whole line of different comics. There, one was called the Nam, and there was another. I can't remember the. It's been so long now. I don't even have.
There's also this one called Evil Eye that was put out by EC Comics as well.
I'm trying to think.
And that was more of a mysterious kind of voodoo stories.
I can see the EC logo in my head.
And stories about people using spells to do things to other people. Occult stuff. A lot of occult stuff from the EC comic world was called Evil Eye.
I think EC had something to do. I think it was New Universe Comics. Yeah, it was. It was New Universe Comics, and I think EC had their name involved with that. I could be completely wrong. If I am wrong, and somebody calls me,
that would be UC.
No,
because EC means Entertainment Comics.
Yeah, exactly. I think New Universe, because they came out with a whole line of different ones. Like I said, one was like the Nam and
AC is Action Comics.
Hang on, I gotta look this
where,
up. Oh fuck me.
That's where Superman came from.
New Universe Comics. That's what I mean. But New Universe was created by there was a subgroup from another comic, or they picked them up and produced them. One or the other. New Universe. Oh fuck off. New Universe. I might even have the name wrong. Maybe I just made that up in my head.
New Universe? Yeah, probably. That doesn't sound right.
New Universe. I'm pretty sure.
Universal Universe.
No,
maybe Universe.
No, the New Universe. Yeah, it's an imprint from Marvel Comics. Okay, that was published in its original.
Oh, it's Marvel. Okay, so it's just part of Marvel.
All right. Because I was wrong. It wasn't EC. Where did I see EC? I did collect comics at a time, but
well, Tales from the Crypt is EC, but there's also other storylines that are from the EC world that aren't Tales from the Crypt that are very similar, different weird ones, like some random pirate stories, and some fantasy type of stories.
Oh my God!
Some stories where a woman comes back from the dead and kills her husband.
I think
because
I know what
he's
Marvel's
cheating on her
next. I didn't see that. I didn't know this was
shit like that. And at the end, they show his head on a stump and a pan out. But that's not Tales from the Crypt. That was some other storyline. Although they did use that. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. I think when I moved my mic, I accidentally shut it off. So.
Oh. Anyway, I was saying there's a story that I remember reading in the comic world from EC Comics. I don't remember the name of the comic or whatever. but it was
Oh, I'm not sharing my.
but it had this story of a girl that gets killed by her husband and then runs off with some other woman, and then she comes back. She was like, and they like put her in a swamp, and then she comes back from the swamp, kills the woman, and then they don't show what happens to him, but then at the end, like you see a pan out of his head on a stump.
Well, that's not very polite. That could attract bugs.
And then her in the background. I remember this. Her in the background, going into the water.
That's how you attract bugs. You don't want to do that.
Like the action of going into the water, kind of just barely above the head.
You'd
like
have to go in the water because there'd be too many bugs going after the head. You'd have to go in the water, like just to get them off you.
But it like showed her in the background and showed him like in the foreground, kind of in a pan out.
Right.
Like, you know, action, whatever, shows like this one and shows that one and shows both, and like the whole scene.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what you see. You see his head on like a stump, and then her in like the water, kind of going like almost like an alligator. Anyway, they kind of did that in Tales from the Crypt, but they changed the storyline a little bit because the guy was a gambler in the show, and he was cheating on her, but it was all like an inclusive like situation that was he didn't kill her in the show.
Right.
She does die, but he doesn't kill her. Someone else kills her. He actually hires somebody to kill her.
Right.
And then she comes back from the dead and kills him, and then puts her head on a stump in this back.
Well, head for
thing.
head,
So
right?
it's almost like a reverse to that one that I'm talking about.
It's like an exact reverse.
Except she doesn't. There's no swamp. I think it was more like a what are those things you get water from? Well.
Wells. Yeah.
A well. So she comes out of the well and almost like fucking Ring. You know what I mean? But not as drawn out and way more tongue in cheek. She grabs an axe and she's kind of like, you know.
Right. Hang on. Sorry, I'm listening. I'm just fucking with something here. It is a tech show after all. I'm just doing.
Yeah, and then she kills him but with the axe, and they kind of show that, and then they have a pan out where like it shows her with an axe, kind of about to kill the other woman, and the other woman screaming, and then they like do this kind of music thing with this pan over, and then they show the woman's like head like on a stake. She's not on a stump in this one. She's on like a stake, and then it pans out.
He's just making it his own. Like he's got to upgrade the MO.
And then of course you have the Crypt Keeper making a joke about the head on a stick.
The guy upgraded.
No, it's probably some nasty joke.
Yeah, I like the Crypt Keeper. Actually, it's one of
I like when they give me head, just not that way. Or
yeah,
something
exactly.
weird
Yeah. No, I like the Crypt Keeper a lot. Actually, it's one of the cooler hosts, I guess you could say, of some of these shows. Some of these shows are just horrible.
Yeah, the guy that did the voice at the con, he would tell us that he ad-libbed a lot of that.
I could believe it. Like, just say stuff. You're the Crypt Keeper. Just say
exactly.
stuff.
He's like, you're the
we don't know what you
comedian,
say.
so
We can't write it. Probably because they couldn't write it.
Here's the storyline. This is what you got to talk about, and go.
Yeah. But they probably, you know why? Because they couldn't write what he said. Like they can't write for him. Like only he could come up with that comedy. You know what I mean? Like most people are dead in the fucking heart when it comes to comedy and creativity. There's a lot of people that are like that.
And he was talking for a puppet, so it's like a whole. It's like almost ventriloquist.
Yeah, and you can be as silly as you want when you're talking through a puppet. Like you've got everyone's eyes not on you. Like it's like
Exactly.
you
You're
can do
like
anything
you're
you
like
want.
have this character that you're using.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, comics in a new universe. I think you know what the whole Phase 4. I think this is what we're looking forward to. I think the new universe era is what Phase 4 of fucking Marvel's going to be. My God, we got.
Probably. I mean, they're
I
basically
No,
like
because
getting all the normie people
Starbrand is
involved.
Captain Marvel is based on Starbrand, and Starbrand was from the new universe, and I think that was a transition point into this whole. New universe might as well be called the new age. Like it's all gonna be new age storylines because that was a big thing, in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah, you got it. Because basically, is what they're doing is they're restructuring the formula of all that we know about the comic book world, and they're streamlining it to get the normies to understand all of that stuff in order for them to build the next
DP7
legacy,
was good. DP7,
which will be essentially the golden age, like you're talking.
I remember DP7 vaguely, and I remember that was really cool and interesting. DP7 was a good comic book. I don't remember what the frig it was about.
That's funny.
I just remember having a shitload of them, or at least I got into it. I got out as fast as I got in. When I started collecting comics and I filled up 2 or 3 cases, I was like, I'm not going to continue this.
Yeah, exactly. I had the same kind of effect. I actually tried to sell comics for a minute.
Because I ended up
out of my backyard.
Oh, they had a sentimental value because I had collected them at this point. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to give them away or throw them out.
I did sell some of them. I mean, it's not like I didn't. I
was able to make money off of like 3 of the comics I had. And you know what?
And I would have those comics like things to like go, oh, this is worth this much. This is worth that much.
Oh yeah, I kicked myself later. I was like, oh fuck, if I only kept that. Actually,
a lot of mine were marked though because I got them from a certain like person that had like a box, and I was like, these are really good.
I had a 4-part box set series of a first print of Tank Girl, and
nice.
That's worth some money now.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
It wasn't 10 years ago when I moved.
A lot of that is.
I left it behind somewhere when I moved.
Only to collectors, though. Like, I mean, you have to literally find the right people when it comes to comic books.
Well, that's true. That's true for sure. Yeah. Yeah. You do have to find a.
That's why, like, when you go to like a Comic-Con or whatever, they have like everything there, because they don't know who their audience is, who their demographic is. So they just like throw it all on the table. And when you go to like an area where there is comic books, because at Comic Cons there's like a lot of other stuff, like just different booths of other shit that people are trying to sell that's comic related, necessarily not comic books, right?
Right.
And when you do come to one that actually has comic books, it's like in boxes, old school style, like where you got to go through them, like you're at a comic store. You know what I mean? And they're all labeled like in what's there and whatever, and then they have their prices in front. You know, hey, this is for sale. And then they have their like bulk item areas where there's just like they don't even know what they have, so you have to like go through that, and it's like, and that's the real big sells. But like, they may have gold there. They may have like just all crap.
Right.
That's maybe from gas stations. You know what I mean? So it's just you just have to know what you know, and if you're looking for the right stuff that you know that people will like, that's what you go for these days, because that's the collector way. I'm not a collector.
Yeah.
When I was actually collecting comic books, I had comic books, but I didn't necessarily collect them. I only collected like certain factions. Like I had Ghost Riders, right?
Yeah.
And I had some Batman, and I had some Alien, and I also had some Image ones that were just random. Oh, and Dark Horse, because I liked Army of Darkness.
Right.
So I had that. and
Yeah.
that was
Army of
really cool
Darkness is
image
the
wise.
shit. I mean, like Bruce Campbell, like that guy. He's just, I don't know, man. He's
The
highest.
graphic novel was really cool.
He's the Chuck Norris of his genre. That's all I can say.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
He was there. He was at the con that I went to recently, but he wasn't there that day that I was there. He had like a booth there.
Oh,
yeah,
bad.
so I missed him.
Too bad.
I did see the Candyman guy.
Wow, he's got to be pushing what, 70 now?
Oh, I shouldn't be saying that. I keep forgetting I have a mirror in front of me. It's like
you know, mirrors are interdimensional portals to other places.
Trouble. Yeah, I know. I'm a spiritual enthusiast, so I understand that kind of stuff. I've researched it. I've gone through it myself. I've actually experimented with things. Like if you take a hallway of mirrors, for instance, right, and you take a picture, like with a flash cam, that maybe like a Polaroid, there you get an effect where you actually get something traveling in between the light itself that flashes is actually traveling in between each of the hallway. And it lights up the hallway.
But what
it's very trippy.
With what kind of camera though? Like
hard to catch.
Traditional film or digital?
Like a Polaroid is the best way to do it.
All right. So optical with film.
Yeah.
Because with a digital, you have a CCD and it measures from 0 to 255. And
you can still get it with digital.
With digital, though,
you can't do it live, though. You have to do it like.
No, but what I mean,
flash cam.
What I'm trying to say is that the sensors they don't
look
record.
At the picture.
They don't record the information. Am I coming through? Am I coming through? Yeah. Okay. No, but they don't record the information the same way because if you blow it out, a digital picture, you're gonna get black because like it'll zero and like it's like clipping sound that's digital.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Exactly. So it's hard to do.
If you blow out optical film, like it'll just go pure white and like you know what I mean, like and it's not pixelated, like it's actually more granular, so you get a more real representation because it's still how can I say a physical modulation of something rather than an electrically stimulated one.
Right.
That's the only way I can break it down. And that's probably sort of along the lines, but probably completely incorrect if you're a physicist. So call me out if I'm wrong.
Well, the best way to do it is to not be in the picture. You have to kind of like be. It's like it's better if you have like two not necessarily actual hallway, but like maybe a wall and a wall, and they both have mirrors.
There's a scene in John Wick.
They're above you.
Yeah.
And so you can put your hands above and you'll just see your hands holding the camera. Or you can have like something holding the camera, like and take it that way. And so the camera will be seen kind of forward and backwards. Right.
I can't remember if it was John Wick 2 or John Wick 3, but I think it was John Wick 2. But there's a scene where they're in I don't know if it's a park, but there's a place that has mirrors, it's like a hall of mirrors. I think it was like a fun house kind of thing at a.
Fun houses do have hallways and mirrors, but they don't tilt them at the right angle.
No, but I mean,
so anyway,
but in the John Wick movie,
I
was just gonna say though, on a technical level, I want to give those guys credit where credit is due because they did those fight sequences like to the tits, and like you couldn't catch the cameras. There's one shot where you do see the camera if you freeze frame it and have a look at it. Yeah, you'll see that there's a shot where they came in really low. And like you could tell, like you just see the lens, like and the.
I haven't seen John Wick yet.
Oh, you gotta watch all three. You gotta watch all
like
three.
That, but people told me to watch it, so
it's
probably check it out.
It's just hardcore, fucking like just killing stuff through the whole thing. It's what's his nuts.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean,
it's Keanu Reeves, though.
Yeah, I know. I know. I pretty much know what it's about.
Yeah.
I don't know if like I care about watching that.
It's just he's really good at it. Like it's just he's really good. Like just it's just a spectacle to watch, and it's like they don't
it just inhuman. Like they don't the person.
No, he's just really good, and he's pissed off. Someone took his dog. Someone killed his dog. So that's it. That's a line you don't cross.
Yeah, you don't fucking kill somebody's dog. Fuck that.
I'd take down the whole continent if I had to. You don't take my dog like that. He did nothing to you. But yeah, no, like I mean, I don't know. It was just really it's a spectacle to see him doing that kind of stuff. Like I watched him like after the fact do all the actual training, and he still goes on a regular basis, like doing a tactical gunfight tactics and shit like that. Like he goes and trains like that on a regular basis now, and it's pretty crazy to watch him in there because it's like he's like, watching him doing a live fire exercise with real bullets. Like holy shit! Like it's interesting because it's like holy fuck, this guy could totally do SWAT. Like if he had to, like it's where you take something you learned acting and then like he's just added it to his repertoire, in his life. And I got to give the guy credit for that. Shit, like he's got to be what in his 60s now.
Sure. Why not?
he's got to be I'm turning like 48, so what? I'm almost a half century myself. He had to have been like when I watched the Bill and Ted movie. He had to be at least 10 years older than I was. So that he's got to be pushing at least close to 60 now.
Oh yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Most of them are that we watch in the day or whatever.
Well, some of them
about 20 years
some of them look older than piss, and some of them like just haven't aged. Like Keanu Reeves is one of those ones. Yeah, he probably is. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, no, Keanu Reeves is one of those that just hasn't like really aged. Tom Cruise is like. Did he just not go to the meeting when they said, "Yeah, you're getting older"? Like, he still kind of had like, or is he locked in a friggin' oxygen tank like Michael Jackson did? I don't know. That was a big thing back in the day.
Hey, have you watched? That reminds me of something. Have you? I don't know if it's related. Have you watched the Lost Symbol?
The who fucking what?
The Lost Symbol.
Nope. How can you lose a symbol? Symbols are non-tangible.
It's some sort of lost symbol. It's another Dan Brown thing. It's a series.
But how do you know you lost it?
It's just the name of the show. So,
I know. But it's the show.
I don't think it's actually about that.
I don't know.
Because it's Dan Brown. It's like
it sounds like Dan
hunt.
Brown because he didn't think about a lot of his stories. Like he didn't really.
It's like another scavenger hunt style thing.
Yeah.
Except
but
it's
I'm
not
just saying,
done with the same people. It's like these other people.
How about the last?
But they're the same characters.
The lost grammar skill.
And it takes place I think in a prequel. It's like a prequel. I think it takes place before
Lost
Inferno.
Symbol. Like, so at the beginning of the story, like, look at this. What's that? I don't know. We lost it. Like, what's the, I don't understand the premise. Like the lost symbol, like it's grammatically incorrect. Like how can you lose something that's like we lost the symbol. It's like, oh, what was it? What does it look like? I don't know. We lost it. That's the actual thing, right? Like, so you would know what you're looking for. I'm just tearing this title apart.
Most people don't know what a symbol is.
Well, what a symbol is
I think that Dan Brown or whoever created the series, it says Dan Brown.
Yeah.
It's like basically speaking to those people that focus on symbols.
Are we talking about
who's gonna watch that?
Are we talking about a symbol like as in like?
No, I told you it's about another scavenger hunt. It's like.
No, I get that. I get that. You're not in on the joke. You're not in on the joke. The joke went over your head. I'm talking about a symbol is like a cross or a heart is a symbol. Like if you have a symbol of something, like it references something. It's a non-tangible item. It's something that has no physical. So you can't physically lose a symbol. Like the title makes no grammatical sense. It's a fucking farce.
I think they mean lost in the sense of like. They don't you don't know it's there in the first place. Like we know about all these other symbols.
Now you do because you can't call it a lost symbol because it's an oxymoron too because you can't say you lost it if you know that you lost a symbol. If it's non-tangible.
Well, they didn't say they lost it. You're missing the idea
it's
behind what they mean by lost.
Yeah. Oh.
They're not saying like lost, like it's gone, like
lost
I
my
had
car
it,
keys,
and
like
then
I
they
just
lost
don't know
it.
where I put
Yeah,
them.
it's not like that. It's like it's like lost in the sense of the lost civilization, you know, like that kind of thing. I think that's where they're going with this lost symbol. It's like lost civilization. So like there's some symbol that's associated with
Yeah,
the
but
lost
they're not lost
civilization.
because now they're found.
And
see, like
no, there is no found. That's the whole thing.
but
It's
you
like
don't
the
know they're
name
lost
of the
if
story.
you wouldn't know about them.
You
Like,
have to
as soon
go
as you
through the
discover
story.
them, as soon
But my
as you
point
discover
being-
them, they're found. They're no longer
The
lost.
reason why I bring it up, and I think you should watch it, is because it's a lot of Masonic stuff.
No, I bet all of Dan Brown's shit is Masonic.
No, like a lot. Like, I mean, they're just like putting it right there. They're even using gematria.
Yeah, I know. They did that all throughout the Dan Brown series, like all of it.
Wow.
Like,
Different.
Who
like,
was that? That was what's his
different
nuts?
things. It's like
Who
play
was
the
that?
play the Illuminati Easter egg hunt game or whatever with while watching that, and you're just like going to be scoring a bunch of points. Let's just say.
Or if you're playing a drinking game, you probably
You
probably polish a Mickey
This is
off
how
in the
you
first
this is how
20
you
minutes.
play. Like I want to say, okay, this is how you play alone. If you're doing the Easter egg hunt, the Illuminati Easter egg hunt,
Right.
or a game,
Oh.
you try to figure out what your score is going to be before you do it,
Oh.
and then you try to see how close you are to it.
You got to wager a bet, kind of a thing.
But you're just winning or losing. So against yourself.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
say, okay, I'm going to make 100 points, right? Do you actually make 100 points, or do you make less? Do you make more? That kind of thing. And then that becomes your game with yourself as you're playing the Illuminati Easter egg thing, especially on that specific show.
Right.
Have you? There's several shows that I could just like throw at you. You know what I mean? But that's the one like I've been watching recently, and I'm just like, oh my god!
Have you
Can't
finished
believe
working
you're
on the
saying all
rules?
this.
Have you finished working on the rules for this thing? Because
I already have the rules, and I put them on the Gematria database Instagram.
Well, then we got to do a
stories.
show about that. We got to do a show about that before Halloween.
Okay.
If you
I don't
catch
know
my
how we're
drift.
gonna do a show, but I mean.
No, we'll do a show about the rules and about everything. We'll have jokes about it, and we'll do a lead up, and then we'll have a competition, and we'll tally in results after Halloween. You'll understand soon. We'll talk off
Okay.
there.
Okay.
No one's listening now anyway. They won't give a fuck.
I know, really. It's just us. We're just by ourselves.
No, it'll be too late by the time they actually watch this. It'll be like, oh shit, man.
It's too. We're already over. It's like we already did that thing. Yeah. Exactly.
But we'll have
They'll
to
go back to it. They'll be like, oh, we gotta
we'll do
go
it
back
next
now.
year too. Don't worry.
Yeah, it'll be an annual thing.
Yeah.
Every Halloween. Haha.
All right.
All Hallows Eve.
So okay, so
Yes.
now that I'm doing that, I just gotta go and hit the transition. Boom. Ah, there we go. Not covering up your face so much. All right. Yeah, I'm getting used to using this. There's like Move Cam, or it's called Move Transitions, and they got a Move Cam movement for all these windows. So like if I go like this, if I go like this and make this bigger.
If I go like this.
And I hit transition, it goes whoop, and then I can
Whoop.
shrink it down. I go like this, and then whoop. It doesn't do. I did the sound effect. That wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah. That's what you need. You need to make those sound effects.
You can actually. Yeah, you can. And it's going to use transitions like whatever you assign to it. The Move Cam does have a option for sound, I believe, under properties.
It's like when I'm at work, I like push buttons, and I'm like, boop, 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 boop.
I do that too.
I like just do little things. Douche.
Douche is
Skadoosh.
douche is probably the most popular. Douche.
And then what's another one I do? It's like boosh. I say boosh too. Whatever that is. I don't know where that comes from.
Whenever I smell a vinaigrette,
I
I
just
always
do
say
say
douche.
boosh.
When I smell a light vinaigrette, I always say douche.
Well, there you have it.
Ah.
One beer if it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, hey.
You know what movie that's from?
No, I don't. EPGN Live Video Feed. Just give me a second here, but I'm just going to the.
That was
edit.
Another Stephen King. That was Creep Show 2.
I wasn't a big fan of Creep Show 2. The original Creep Show is really, really good. That one with the oil slick in the pond was dumb as hell. Like Creep Show had character, and Stephen King was actually
yeah.
Like Creep Show had
But that was
character.
actually based on an actual comic book, so that's probably why they did that.
Yeah, and the original one, by the way, I enjoyed it more as a kid. Like some movies, you enjoy more later when you get older. I actually watched Creep Show later in life, and I was like, it's still really good. Like it's classic, and
the first one. Oh yeah,
the first one. But I was like,
it's all about those like roaches.
I
that,
really
like, get
enjoyed
inside
it more as a
person.
kid. That movie was way more enjoyable to me as a child. Like it scared me more. When I watched it later as an adult, it was like I don't know. It just seemed hokey and kind of pushing certain boundaries. Like I don't know. It was like just being cheap. It was like cheap thrills. I did like the
Which
wedding.
one?
Creep Show 1, the first one. I thought it was.
Yeah, but which episode of it?
All of it, just the whole presentation. I thought was kind of like overdone. Like as an adult, being critical of a film, like I was like, yeah, production value was great. It was fucking. That was superb.
It's classic. I mean,
all four.
I think that the one with the water or whatever, like him going underwater and that whole thing, that was like
great.
Presented.
Yeah,
really well.
That was Ted Danson from
and
Cheers.
Fucking
what's his name?
And fucking what's his face from Naked Gun and all that.
Yeah. Leslie Nelson, yeah.
Leslie Nielsen, yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, you know what? Leslie Nelson's a dick.
Yeah, big time.
He's a total asshole. And then he got his at the end. But that was great. That was good. Like I said though.
But then at the end they kind of killed it with showing the creatures coming back. They should have just had the sound. Like hearing
that's
them.
My favorite part though. That was one of my favorite parts
but you see them and they're really like stupid looking.
Yeah, but they are. That's what I mean. Okay, when I saw it as an adult, I was more critical of
yeah,
that,
me too.
But I saw that as a kid.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like behind the fucking couch
and
going,
then the
oh
next
my
shot,
God.
and then the next shot, you see Leslie Nelson's buried up to the neck in sand, and like he's like, "Come on, guys, no, seriously." He's like begging for his life, and then the high tide starts coming in.
Hold your breath.
Yeah, hold your breath. Yeah,
if you could hold your breath, but it was. If you can hold your breath.
But as silly as they looked, they were shooting them, and it was like, yeah, they weren't stopping. Like they were aqua zombies. Fucking.
See, that's a weird thing. It's like all these movies that I've been watching these days, it's like they don't stick in my mind. I can't remember like what their names are. They just like blend together.
Yeah.
But the classic ones like that's always there, and it's like always like somehow relative to like things happen, and then I'm like, oh, that reminds me of that,
Right.
It's really strange. Although I had the same effect with Creep Show 2, but I think I was still a kid during that. That's probably why.
Right.
And I watched everything because my dad had pirated from the next door neighbor 24/7 HBO, Cinemax, Showtime.
Hey,
whatever.
Don't say that when we're live. Interpol will get them.
They don't know who my dad is. And they
you don't know who your dad is. I'm just joking.
I don't even know who my dad. No. But yeah, he like went up and literally connected to the fucking cables, and the guy next door never knew, and he would connect that to this there was like a room that me and my sister weren't allowed to go into, but we knew it was there, and we saw it from the door every once in a while. And basically it had a TV and like a VCR and like a bunch of tapes like next to it on each side.
That's
Think-
pretty much like every setup that people had in the 1980s, like
And yeah, and
TV,
he was like
VCR, and a
taking,
bunch of tapes. That was like
and then,
everywhere you went.
and then so like where we could watch TV, there was tapes, and they were all like in their like thing, and they were numbered, right? And there would be like names next to them, and you can sit there and go through all of that, or my dad had like a little pamphlet thing that was like typed out that had the numbers with what was what. So you could literally go through and like, oh, I want to watch this movie, and it was like alphabetical order, I think.
Right.
And so if you wanted to just see a movie, and you're like, I want to watch that movie. This is the one I want to watch. So then you go and specifically to that tape, go find it, you know, in the numbers, and then pull it out, and then and you'd have like little stickers on each of the things for the numbers.
Right.
I remember that. So so I would watch things like Star Wars, you know, like all the different Star Wars, like the Goonies, the you know, Never Ending Story, Terminator, all the Terminators. Well, the older ones. The like Conan, you know, like just fucking everything. Red Sonja, you know, like my dad like had everything that pretty much whatever Cinemax, Showtime, and HBO put out during the early 80s. My dad recorded everything. And so I was just like watching all those things from that.
Right.
And we would rewatch them, right? Me and my sister would. So that's how I ended up becoming such a horror fan, because he had a bunch of horror. Probably some Cinemax. I don't think HBO really had much horror.
HBO.
Showtime did too, but more so Showtime was more
Back
of the
in those days,
provocative type of
I
stuff.
was gonna say though, back in
Real
those days,
fancy
HBO wasn't really doing their own movies either. They were picking up other production companies when we were still kind of like doing when we were still doing network TV and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like things like Howard the Duck was on HBO.
Yeah, exactly. But
And he did have that one too.
yeah. It's funny you say that, because I think Howard the Duck was supposed to be a Marvel film.
Yeah, he recently made a comeback.
They might be doing it with the Doctor Strange in the multiverse.
They probably are, because they already hinted at it with the end.
Yeah, I heard that
If
Howard the
you
Duck's
watch
coming in
all the way to the end, you end up seeing him in the end.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen that. And the first Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I watched that on a flight.
And he also comes back in another. He's come back in several little tropey things associated with Marvel.
Spider-Man multiverse thing, Spider-Verse or whatever. He was seen in there.
That was one of them.
Yeah.
I think he was also seen in one of.
Why do I fucking know so much about Marvel? I can't stand it.
I don't know why you do. You're not really a fan, so it's weird.
I'm not.
I'm not really a fan, but I'm with a fan, so that's probably why.
It just comes in from all angles, though. I
see both sides. I see the Illuminati side, you know, or whatever Easter egg, and I see the other Easter eggs, the ones that they're actually
like Iron Man. I legitimately like Wolverine. Logan was probably the best movie I'd seen that year. Like when I saw Logan, I was like, that's the way to like end your career. You know what I mean? Like as Wolverine, like Logan was a good movie. Like I was like, shit, like that's stepping it up. But
by the way, I looked up the Illuminati Easter egg,
right.
Whatever, and it seems to have its own like following of stuff already. Like basically people I think are using it in the truth sphere to point out things, almost like the same way that the people in the Marvel sphere is using the Easter egg element in order to kind of boost their potential into kind of viewing something, reviewing something, showing how it's done, and then also kind of doing this editing. So then there's like a oh, you missed this in this movie, in this show, or whatever. I'll just show you all of these things. I think the same thing is going on with this truth sphere, whereas they're like saying, oh, you missed this in this movie. Well, here's Saturn. Here's the pyramids. Here's, you know what I mean, and here's the one eye, and they just like go to each of the things and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like they're not Easter egg hunting. They're Easter egg showing.
I get it. Yeah, that's cool.
The game that I'm talking about is more of a, like, you're actually collecting them as you go.
Oh yeah, no, we're
like,
gonna. I'm. How many days we got now till?
So it's a little different, although it's using the same name.
Yeah, we got 11 days. So if in 11 days, if I can whack something together where people can upload submissions, we're gonna have a little game.
Okay.
Right.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, we're gonna see how it works, and like I said, I have to get inventive, and I have to pull it off by. I got some lead time. I got 11 days. It's not like I have to do it in like what. How long did it take for me to spin up EPGN? Like initially, like a week, and then, I mean, doing everything else is what took time.
There's only a certain amount of objects you gotta like watch for.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about setting up the software so people can make their submissions. We have to, talking about the development.
Oh, you don't already have that set up?
No,
you don't have that set up.
I've got it set up, but I don't have a web page made. I don't have graphics. I don't have fucking like video clips, instructions, pages telling people what to do and how to fucking submit it. I don't have that yet. The hard work. I got the idea.
Now you just have to put it into fruition.
That's it.
Oh, why am I still have my hand up?
There we go. You can put your hand. You can put your hand down now.
I want to talk, man. I want to talk.
You can put your hand down now.
I know. I was like this.
That's hilarious. All right, so we're gonna visit the site now. So I've got
all of a sudden we're in school.
I've got the chat integrated now onto the live video feed pages, both on EPGN. Eventually, I got there. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, so like now we just need people there to be saying stuff.
Yeah, but it's good to have it integrated so that way they can go someplace. Because I mean, obviously, if we send somebody,
you need the option.
Yeah, the option has to be there, and it has to be interconnected too. So if they go to the different places, they're at the same chat. So I just want to.
I mean, yeah, I think that's how that would make sense to me.
And if they're logged in, it won't make up names for them. But
dying.
Actually, somehow I got to tie. Now the next thing is I got to tie in the user database into Omcast. That's the thing. I mean, you can type your name in, but you can't do it here. I don't think. Can you? Edit. Oh wait, no, that says edit because I'm in the.
You can't do it here, but you can do it at home.
I mean, you can go to the actual.
I'm losing power. Hold on, I'm losing power.
Blip blip. Run.
Blip, blip. Oh my God.
Don't disassemble Johnny 5.
If I die, I'll come back from the dead. All right.
Like that.
Disassemble. Disassemble.
Like that character from Game of Thrones, the one with the fiery sword. The guy
4% left.
The guy like dies like 5 times and comes back to life. It's like.
All right. Oh.
Okay, so that is all.
Oh, so I met a person that actually saw me from the TikTok world today. That was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like how do you respond to that? I was like, cool. Okay, it's like, thank you for looking at my TikTok. I was like, what did you think? And they're like, oh, I really liked it. I was like, okay, cool. I guess I'm doing good then. We'll just go with that. I don't know. It's like I don't know what to say.
So all right,
it's just a weird situation.
All right. So while I've done this, I pretty much assessed what I need to do after this because now I kind of have to get a hold of bot code, and I got to set up webhooks on all the different areas and. Also the different chat platforms. Like I have to get a bot for Discord. I have to get a bot for what the hell do you call it?
Well, at least you know what you're doing.
Well, yeah. Well, that's just it. I got to basically get these bots to automate the system so that it spreads out to the other chat networks into a channel. That way I can kind of get everybody.
What happened? I lost you. Hello? Oh, there you are. And you're back.
wire here.
What were you saying?
I've got a loose wire here, obviously. This thing is
Oh,
every
the old loose wire.
every once in a while, yeah, right. And this motherfucker here. Fucking, it's kinda,
Well, did I do what I needed to do?
I don't know. Did you do anything?
I don't know. Did I do anything? I
don't know.
talked.
But I am gonna stop the stream though. I'm just yeah. I was just doing a kind of a late night, me at work kind of a stream.
Testeroni.
It was
The old testeroni.
It was a test. It was a test of
I
sorts.
like to move my hands around like that dick. What's his name?
But
Bill
yeah.
Gates.
But hang on. Let
I am
me
moving my hands as I talk.
let me sign us out. Everyone.
Right.
That was Gematria Database. I'm Robert, and we are out.